Welcome back to In Defense of the Awkward Moment. Today's video comes to us courtesy of social media. I'm gonna read you something. Music artists. Christmas carols do not need to be reinvented. They don't need your personal stamp. There's absolutely nothing new or entertaining that you are talented enough to bring to them. Not since Chip Davis has anyone succeeded in an appreciably large scale. The greatest gift you can give this holiday season is your silence. Happy holidays. That was a post I made on Facebook a couple of days ago, and I got a response almost immediately from it, a recommendation to do a video about the definitive version of various Christmas carols as I felt them. And while this was certainly a worthwhile conversational topic, it did lead me to thinking about why, for the most part, I really don't listen to Christmas carols very often. I don't listen to the things often at all. As a matter of fact, I go out of my way to avoid most people who are listening to Christmas carols. But in order to explain why, we kind of have to go someplace else first. Stick around. Stairway. I'm sure you're probably wondering why in the world I chose to strap Stairway to Heaven onto a Christmas post. And Stairway really kind of sums up one of the biggest problems that I have with modern Christmas music, or Christmas music, period. Stairway to Heaven is a wonderful song. It's an absolutely fantastic song. It is technically complex and musically extraordinarily diverse. Some of the things that Led Zeppelin does in that song in order to produce their sound had never been done before. It's an absolutely fantastic song. There's a reason why it's continually voted the greatest song in classic rock history whenever the local the classic rock station does their countdown at the end of the year. Stairway almost always ends up at number one. There's a very, very good reason for that. It's just a flat-out great song. But on any given day, when Stairway comes on the radio, most people will switch away from the song. Most people roll their eyes. As a matter of fact, a lot of people have really kind of taken to saying that they don't enjoy Stairway. And I think that's because it's just been played so damn much. You can't even go into a guitar store and play Stairway. For anybody that's seen Wayne's World, that's an accurate cliche. And yeah, I think that's just because Stairway's been played so much. It doesn't change the fact that it's an absolutely wonderful song, but everybody's sick and tired of hearing about it because it was so big, then so popular that when it came out, it just got played over and over and over again. We've talked about Stairway. We can talk about Christmas carols. For me, Christmas carols suffer from the exact same thing. I love music. I listen to music a lot. I listen to it almost constantly during my waking hours, be it at work or at home, just wandering around the house. I absolutely love music. And Christmas carols, in the grand scheme of things, the library of Christmas carols that are even remotely worth listening to is comparatively small. And you're talking about something that dominates most of the public consciousness for 2.5 months out of the year, 3 months out of the year, depending on how quickly the retail establishments in your area sell their souls. We all know the songs. We've all heard them. Most of us can probably sing the songs in our sleep, but they're just beaten to death over the last 2.5 to 3 months out of the year. And I think commercialization of the holiday is in large part to blame for that. I'm not anti-Christmas. I'm not anti-Christmas carol. I'm just sick of the darn things. It doesn't change the fact that I still appreciate the classics. For me, the classics are pretty much always going to be Nat King Cole and Bing Crosby and other artists from that era. I love the classics. I really, really do. But again, they're played so damn always during the holiday that I'm sick and tired of the things. One of the questions that came up on that social media post that I made talked about the definitive version of Christmas carols and who did it best, and for the most part, I do have to stick with the classics. Your Bing Crosby's, your Nat King Cole's. There's another gentleman whose name completely and totally eludes me, and I'm sorry because I'm not that much of a student of Christmas carols. However, another point that I made in the post was modern artists should please not feel the need to try and reinvent the wheel when it comes to Christmas carols. Every year, whatever the flavor of the month pop artist is, decides that they should make a Christmas album. And they do this knowing that their legions of mindless fans will buy it, not because it's good, but because it's just another piece of work from that artist. And for the most part, these albums are lost to time. They have no staying power like the quote-unquote classics do. And I will posit here and now that on a large scale, only one artist has successfully managed to not just reinvent but contribute meaningfully to the genre of Christmas carols in the last 50 years. And that man's name is Chip Davis. You probably know him better as the group that he plays with, Mannheim Steamroller. You know who Mannheim Steamroller is. Nobody that has any kind of awareness whatsoever of the radio or department stores or an office where your coworkers play music, you know who Mannheim Steamroller is. I promise you. And if you're still sitting there shaking your head going, we're not sure we know who Mannheim Steamroller is, let me play you something. That's who they are, the millions said. Yeah, that's who Mannheim Steamroller is. That album came out in 1984, and it was everywhere. It still is everywhere. Mannheim Steamroller's Christmas album. Deck the Halls charted on the billboards at 50. A Christmas Carol charted on the billboards. It's still one of the most popular Christmas carols that's played on radios and in department store music systems today. Mannheim Steamroller is frapping everywhere. And one of the reasons why they're so popular is they took Christmas music, something that was old and that had been, even by the 80s, been beaten to death, and they did something new with it that is different enough and yet still of quality that it has stood the test of time. This isn't like Pop Artist of the Month singing Jingle Bells with an R&B beat in the background. That serves no purpose. Congratulations. No, not even congratulations. That serves no purpose. This, on the other hand, was different for the sake of being good. Not just different for the sake of being different, which is one of the reasons why I feel that it's endured for so long. Yes, there have been other one-offs. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'm sure we all remember when the cult favorite Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer came out. That was a cute song. It was cute for its time. It was cute for the era. There have been other songs in that vein that have come out, and they remain in cult status. Things that are played every once in a while now on radio stations, more for humor than for actual enjoyment. There have been a few exceptions to the rule, not widespread, but there have been a few exceptions. When we talk about definitive versions of songs, I know that we mentioned Nat King Cole and we mentioned Bing Crosby already for songs like White Christmas and Chestnuts Roasting on an Open Fire and O Tenenbaum. However, When you start talking about songs like Carol of the Bells, a lot of people have done Carol of the Bells. Some people have done it very differently. And probably the biggest argument for the most impactful version of that song that's come out in recent history has to go to a group called Trans-Siberian Orchestra. You might never have heard of the group, but I can pretty much guarantee that you've heard this version of the song before. That little ditty is actually called Christmas Eve Sarajevo. It's off of a Trans-Siberian Orchestra album called Christmas Eve and Other Stories. There's a lot of stuff like that that Trans-Siberian Orchestra does, that kind of heavier metal rock and roll Christmas carol type of a thing, and it's entertaining enough to listen to. I certainly don't think that it's as popular as some of the older Christmas carols are, but it's different and good at the same time. So for me anyway, it's far more palatable. Now, additionally, here's something a little bit more niche. Another little gemstone that I found. Chiptune music is becoming more and more popular as time passes. And for anybody who's not acquainted with what chiptunes are, go back and dig up a Nintendo Entertainment System and just kind of listen to that style of bleeps and bloops and 80s video game music. It sounds relatively simple at first, but some clever individuals have gotten a hold of equipment to make chiptune style sounds, and they've actually put together some pretty complex stuff. One of those groups is called Rush Coil, and they actually have a version of Carol of the Bells that I don't listen to a lot, but I do throw it in every once in a while because it's just really, really complex and really, really good and really, really sharp. Give it a listen. Now, at this point, you may be sitting there shaking your head, wondering if all of the Christmas music that I can palette is louder, heavier, stuff like that. And the answer is certainly no. I will say that my go-tos during the holiday are Mannheim Steamroller and Trans-Siberian Orchestra, and that for the most part, the lion's share of the music that I listen to is actually quieter. The vast majority of it is instrumental music. When we talk about my go-to versions of Christmas carols, It Came Upon a Midnight Clear. Trans-Siberian Orchestra has a wonderful version of that song. That track is from Trans-Siberian Orchestra's album, The Lost Christmas Eve, and I just really, really enjoy that. There are several tracks that they do acoustically like that I really, really, it's different enough and quiet enough that it doesn't get in your face, and it's still hugely enjoyable, and it also just happens to be a Christmas carol. In the realm of something that does get up your nose a little bit and is different but good, and is kind of a unique spin on what a Christmas carol is, we have to go back to Mannheim Steamroller again, just another example. For their version of The First Noel, I think about that song, and the first place that my mind always goes to are old elementary school and middle school choir recitals. The First Noel was always a song that we had to sing, and we sang it in choir, we played it in band. All I ever think about are children's choir singing The First Noel. So when Mannheim Steamroller came out with their version of it, I was a little bit hesitant to listen to it, but then I did, and it's absolutely heartbreaking, in a good way. Here it is. that's haunting, and it's beautiful, and it's different, and I never get tired of listening to that. And I still only limit myself to listening to it for a few weeks out of the year. I love the Christmas carols that I've put into my own little list, because they're different like that, and they're better. I suppose that's being a little elitist, but there it is. I have to finish by mentioning probably the most potent of the Christmas carols that I listen to, and this one I don't listen to a whole lot at all, because it's absolutely brutal for several reasons. It's another Mannheim Steamroller Christmas carol, and it is their version, and as far as I'm concerned, is the definitive version of Silent Night that there is. Old Christmas Carol, New Christmas Carol, whatever. Mannheim Steamrollers Stille Nacht is incredible. This is just a small piece of it. You should really go and listen to the whole song, and I'm not going to talk about this anymore. Yeah, because I miss my aunt a lot. And she was the one who introduced me to this. And I love her very much. The whole damn recording session without breaking up, but that's the whole song is absolutely incredible. Stick around for the violins at the end. I remember going to see that song live. I've been to see him several times, and I remember going to see it live for the first time, and there wasn't a dry eye in the house when they started playing that thing. Find yourself a good stereo, turn it up loud, and listen to that song. It's absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Yeah. I don't listen to these songs a whole lot. And I think it's for the same reason that I don't listen to Stairway to Heaven a whole lot. I enjoy Stairway, and when it comes on the radio, I still listen to it, but I don't, I listen to other Led Zeppelin songs with some frequency, but I don't tend to tap Stairway simply because when it comes on I still want to be able to enjoy it. And I feel kind of the same way about the Christmas music that I listen to for the most part. I don't beat the hell out of it like everybody else seems to want to do with all the other Christmas music, and because of that it's still special to me, and the people that it reminds me of are still kind of preserved in those memories. So yeah, elitist. Certainly elitist, but not without reason, not without cause. If you're legitimately interested in hearing some of the other music that I listen to during the holidays, drop me a comment, and I'll be more than happy to create a playlist for you and send it your way. In the meantime, have a fantastic holiday. Thanks for tuning in.